Okay, I was going to makwaba shonkoso edeba Ghana politics avenue so. I was going to bonra yensemo. Ambassador Victor Smith Ghana USA ambassador. I was going all the latest update on Ken Ofori-Atta ne extradition ne detention na ICE police officers with FBI involved. Ebusia or the whole latest update about just on the 20th court na or babekono or just say more movie Ken Ofori-Atta every baby or more the detention department or edina court baby for all because or more arranging on say obekwa opiemu ewo court and okoko opiemu court na it's either say ebusia court no just say obe through out an application court be through out in their application and they just say matching we say only case bia na just say omo a process no and then about Ghana enye asam kitwa kramomi yankona yankonkutie ambassador Victor Smith nensema audituja on Ken Ofori-Atta and ne partner in crime no unsubscribe ya subscribe like and share ma Akuffo so enter into me and kabi Ghana politics avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update be ever dropping on so once a bit to me aka medamase.
The case of Ken Ofori-Atta, you wanted to go visit him.
Yes.
But he declined. Walk us through how the events with that particular issue played out.
Well, what we did was, once we were informed by ICE that they had arrested our ex-minister of finance, it was viewed as a high-profile case. They informed us, and then I got my officers to get ready for us to maybe go to him in detention and ensure, first of all, that he's being kept well, health-wise, or that if he had any requirements by way of medication or medical care or anything, then we were going to make representations and push for it. But just before we set out, ICE called again to my office and said the detainee had declined seeing us. So that was the end of the road at that moment. Without his lawyers, that was how initially we were informed. And that once the lawyers, show up, they might call us again. But 2 hours or 3 hours later, they told us that the detainee still insisted, with or without his lawyers, he wasn't ready to see us.
I see. So even with or without his lawyers, no. Initially, he wanted his lawyers to be present. But exactly, the second time he says, no, with or without my lawyers, I don't want to see you.
Yeah, I suspect only that maybe he made contact with his lawyers and the lawyers probably advised not to. I don't know how it happened, but 2-3 hours after the initial attempt, the door was completely shut.
I see. But so how did you react to this? This decision...
Well, I asked ICE whether we could still go in, and they said no. Once the detainee says no, that's the end. They won't arrange for us to go there.
I see. So, although, yes, he declined your visit, did you find other means to confirm how he was doing, his health status, considering he was there in the United States specific for medical reasons?
Well, yes, we asked ICE a few questions, whether he was healthy, and they told us that, yes, they had the medical personnel make that determination that he could be kept in that detention center health-wise. Because if he wasn't fit to be there and he needed to be sent to a bigger hospital, because they do have medical facilities at the centers, those facilities, yes. So once they were convinced or were assured by the medical examiner or whoever was brought in to look at it that he could be kept at the detention center, they decided to keep him there.
I see.
So they informed us he was fit enough to be in that center.
But did ICE have some medical examination done, as in to say he's okay at this detention center with just his medication?
Yes, I want to assume that was the case, because we asked those questions and they confirmed that the medical personnel had assured them that he was fit to be kept there because they wanted to know whether he needed to, because I believe he said he was on medication and may have told them about his medical situation, health-wise. So they obviously needed to get a confirmation from medical officials whether he was fit to be kept there. And I believe that if he wasn't fit to be kept there, they would have probably taken him to a proper medical, bigger hospital. They do have medical facilities within the centers. I recently visited one of them and I saw for myself that it was good enough medical facility.
I see. I was told by the Deputy Attorney General last week that Ken Ofori-Atta's visa was revoked in June 2025. The issue with his visa, what more do you know about this?
I don't know much about it, except that I know that the Department of Justice were dealing with our Attorney General's department in Accra, so they would know better. All I knew was that once he was arrested and we were informed, I had to call the Attorney General to say that, look, this is what has happened. And he said he knew and that the FBI had made contact with him. Regarding the visa issues, I don't want to comment on it because I don't know the facts. All I knew was that his visa had expired. That is the only time that ICE moves in. When your visa expires and you remain here, then you are illegally in the country, as far as ICE is concerned. So they move in.
I see. But at what point exactly did the FBI get involved in all of this? From what you have been briefed on so far, because if it's ICE, it's immigration-related offenses. He said no.
Yes, but I found out later on, we were told that the FBI decided to let ICE move in on the immigration, but the FBI were interested, in this particular case, Ken Ofori-Atta's case. So it was FBI behind or supporting ICE for that particular operation. That we were informed by ICE.
And what was the FBI's specific interest in this? Have you been able to establish that?
It was based on the extradition document that was with the Department of Justice. And it's only the Department of Justice who clears the way for FBI to move in on, cases of particular interest to them.
I see. And this was a matter of the establishment of at least the acceptance and acknowledgement of our extradition request, the details in there. And that's what FBI...
I want to think so, yeah. I want to think that the Department of Justice had looked at the document that the request we made and instructed the appropriate agencies to move in. So it is possible they decided that once his visa had expired, then his status immigration-wise was not in order. But I believe that FBI normally in the United States, if you see the FBI come themselves to take anybody, then it must be a very serious crime like terrorism or something that they think that, they need to really probably handcuff you and all that, like a major issue. So I suspect that they decided to use ICE for the immigration problem. And then they were also interested in probably asking more questions. I don't know.
I see.
So that's how, yeah.
I see. So yes, ICE moves in on the immigration matter, but then every other thing or every other interest regarding Ken Ofori-Atta will follow.
Well, yes, I thought it was part of a strategy. I don't know whether it's a strategy or it was part of the whole, matter that the two agencies, both of them are U.S. security agencies, decided to go in the way they went in. But we were informed that FBI were interested in this particular individual.
I see. He's also due in court on the 20th, a day before Sedina Tamaklo.
That is what we are told, yes.
What could possibly happen on the 20th?
Well, the only thing I know is that Ken's one will be virtual. virtual, I guess, and I'm also informed that he's been moved from the detention center where he was before. So I don't know what, I'm not asking, I haven't been briefed as to why all this sort of is happening. Virtual court, I guess it's something they are doing these days. You can be doing Zoom like I'm doing with you now, and the judge will look at the merits of the case. And if he's putting up a defense, the judge will have a look at it. And the judge would either rule for a hearing to continue or to dismiss his application.
I see. Wait for that. On the day Ken Ofori-Atta was picked, you said he was picked up by ICE with one other person.
No, that one, I think it wasn't from ICE. I don't think ICE informed me on that one. The information was that they picked Ken up, but I think there were some rumors. That's why I could not really be specific. I didn't mention in my the statement I issued that there was another person, because I don't even know who, if there's any other person. There were rumors flying about and I couldn't act on rumors. So that ICE told me that they had picked this individual, and that is one I reported on.
Well, so looking at the profile of his lawyer, it's not going to be a walk in the park, but his lawyers have been speaking. They say extradition as a possible outcome of this process is far away from possible from now.
Look, my information, which is making the rounds from people close to Ken Ofori-Atta, is that he would love to come back and clear the air or respond to the charges that have been brought against him. But is a bit apprehensive as to how he's going to be handled. I'm not, these are all like not speculation. It could be speculations by people close to him or within their own party and stuff like that. And I'm telling them that I don't think that anybody's going to manhandle him. Everybody's given a chance to go through the due process and to try and defend themselves. So others are being tried in Ghana. So he has brought all the brouhaha around this case. So my what I'm hearing is that he's a bit apprehensive as to what's going to happen to him when he comes back to Ghana. Not that he doesn't want to go through the process, but with all the noise and everything, probably it's causing a bit of fear for him. But these are stories that I'm being told about. But these are not like I haven't spoken to him, so I'm not in a position to confirm or deny these things. But these are stories we are hearing.
I see. Stay with me, Mr. Smith and Mr. Bento.
Yeah, I will.
Perfect. Hearing this detail, and this was more of an inquiry conversation to get to know some bit which is not already in the public domain. Now there's that confirmation that both of them were picked up by different agencies on the same day for different reasons. The FBI's involvement, especially in the case of Ken, but Sedina Tamaklo now in detention after this extradition request. How the process will play out on the 21st, hearing from Mr. Smith on the issues and how picking up even, happened and all. First off, how does this get to you?
Right. So this is clearly not the regular ICE raid and deportation. Why do I say so? ICE don't have to be nice to you. ICE are picking up U.S. citizens and sending them to third-party countries in secret, doing plain illegal things. So if ICE wanted to pick you off the street and just send you out, they would do it. So clearly, this is not your normal arrangement. And you can see, as Ambassador Smith is saying, FBI is involved and all kinds of... There's a bit of, gingerness around this one. And then it's interesting that they were both picked up on the same day.
After they had confirmed to me where she had been, where she was being kept, that I issued a statement.
I see. So the digging that we have done indeed is being confirmed by you that indeed Ken Ofori-Atta and Sedina Tamaklo were picked up on the same day, the 6th of January.
That's what I was told.
But by different entities. In this case, ICE for Ken and then the U.S. Marshals.
Okay, let me put it this way. ICE, we do have contacts with ICE because they do pick a lot of Ghanaians up, and sometimes they need to confer with us on those ones, immigration issues. So we use the same channel for them to find out for us who had picked up, whether there was any truth in it and where she was being kept. And they came back after looking through the system to come and tell us that, yes, she was indeed picked up on the 6th by the U.S. Marshals.
I see. Have you made any contact with her?
Not yet. Not yet. Nevada is about 5.5 hours away from Washington. I'm trying to get my officers to see if we can make contact or visit with her.
I see. But how about her lawyers as well? Any indication of which persons are representing her? Have they had any contact with you?
Not at all. I don't have that information, unfortunately.
I see. But she's been held there pending court proceedings. How would the coming days look like for her?
Well, my information is that she's going to also go to a judge. I mean, per their procedures here, if you're picked up for any reason, you go before a judge. If you have some legal representation and you have a case to make, the judge will make that determination and then give his or her ruling.
I see. But in her case, do you get that sense that the U.S. Marshals as well know specifically the high-profile person that they are dealing with as against what we saw in Ken Ofori-Atta as well?
Let me put it this way. I think these security agencies act on instructions from the Department of Justice in the U.S. So when we do get requests like the extradition request, it comes through our embassy and is given to the Department of Justice for them to take their, to grant the request or to act on it. And I believe that when they are satisfied that they're going to probably grant the request, they would then instruct the appropriate agency to move in to make an arrest or to put the person in custody, pending, if you like, extradition being granted by a competent court of jurisdiction, of law, sorry. Law of a host country. It is anticipated and is expected for the embassy to make attempts to make contact with the person. As far as our sister Sedina is concerned, we haven't been successful so far, but my officers are working on it. As we tried in the case of our brother Ken, and he turned it down. He didn't want to see us, and was impossible to find out what sort of assistance he would want from Ghana government. Our sister, once we make contact with her, we'll try and find out, whether she needs any kind of support or assistance of any kind. We need to get to speak to her first.
I see. So the 21st, she is due in court?
That's what I'm informed, yes. I'm informed she's due in court on the 21st.
Which is just some 4 days away from today, by Wednesday.
Yeah, of course, yes. If they say you go before either an immigration judge or a judge for them to make a determination whether you have a case against the arrest, and if your lawyers can make a sufficient representation for the case to drag on. I'm not in the position to determine that one. You will just be put before a judge who will make a determination of how they progress.
There's a specific request for her extradition. I mean, how would this process play out? Because in the case of Ken Ofori-Atta, he has applied, or he's going through a process, from what his lawyers tell us, for a change, an amendment to his status. So there's the thinking that that process will also play out in a certain way. But in the case of Sedina Tamaklo, the extradition request, how quickly will that be executed now that she's in detention?
Well, the whole thing is a judge who will make that determination. I'm not in a position. If we have to go to wherever the court is, as an embassy or representatives of our government, we will do. Our officers will definitely go there to be witnesses. But for now, we don't know whether she's going to be put before a judge. Either they're going to do it virtual or how, if she has any representation on her own. How it's going to play out, I'm not in a position to determine that. It is a judge who will make that determination based on the information or the documentation from the Department of Justice.
I see. Now, let me take you one step up. You reference.
Okay, abuzua we na ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Ambassador Victor Smith and I say or the latest update on Ken Ofori-Atta at the brain. Abusua unsubscribe here, subscribe, like and share my Akuffo so answer into me and kabi Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update be ever dropping on so answer a bit to me aka.